How's it going, everyone? Just wanted to let you all know that before I start this video, I have put 600 hours into Fallout 76 already. So if you were coming into this thinking that it was going to be in the eyes of a new player, that is not going to be the case. I am going to try to play through it as if this was my first time playing, but everything I've done here, I've done probably 4 times over on 4 different characters, so nothing here is new to me, and I was just going through, just letting you know. That being said, we start our little Fallout adventure here on the home screen where I attempt for a probably minute 30 seconds straight to sign into my Bethesda account, where I end up actually just giving up and making a new one because, you know, we all love Bethesda and its wonderful world. We start our lovely little adventure here on the opening cutscene where I get a little too hyped for the 4 words that every single Fallout fan ever has ever known.
War. War never changes.
He said the thing! Yeah! Woo!
1776.
I then proceeded to watch the rest of the opening cutscene, which took about 2 minutes, and so I sped it up here for you, just in case you also wanted to see it. My character wakes up in a daze, and then I proceed to waste the next 6 minutes using the character creator trying to make him look like the early 2000s Slim Shady. After I'm done wasting everyone's time, I go grab the Pip-Boy and finally get this adventure started. I then proceed to run out of the vault like a speed demon because I don't give a shit about any of the start of the game. After getting to the exit, I proceed to listen to Alderton list off 8 different ways of saying goodbye before finally starting our adventure and leaving the vault door. I then take the next 10 seconds trying to decide whether to start at level 20 and speedrun the game or level 2. I decide to go with level 2 to try to get the full Fallout experience. I then take another 20 seconds trying to decide what type of playstyle I wanted. I end up opting for Gunslinger as I know I will be getting a pistol when I start this game. After leaving the vault and trying to figure out the controls again, I then begin to make my character thinner because I realize that early 2000s Slim Shady isn't a man that has meat on his bones. I then begin to realize after this that instead of making Slim Shady, I made Dave from accounting. This revelation comes, as you will see, after I equipped the glasses. I then proceed to talk to Pendington, and he informs me that there are 2 people down the stairs that are trying to break into the vault.
Got to be a way in there. Maybe. Wait, a vault dweller? Hey there!
After looting the chest, I proceed to try to kill the 2 NPCs as most Fallout fans would, but then I soon find out that their names are Lacey and Azia, and they have some info for me. Fine, I'll talk to him.
Whoa! Whoa! Just a friend here, not a threat. Just had some questions for you. You
Shoot.
came out of the vault, right? I thought.
During conversations with NPCs, you'll notice I have to wait for the response box to pop up. This is because Fallout 76 is a multiplayer game and doesn't have a seamless conversation system that won't lag behind.
New bar down the road.
Surprisingly, they weren't that friendly. By this point, you'll notice that I have just switched to a combat knife, completely dropping the idea of gunslinger and going to a full melee build. I go for this for most of the entire rest of this playthrough. After making it halfway down the mountain, I then decide to go inspect the building that is currently emanating smoke. I later find out that this place is fucking useless. After getting to the building, I find out that it's an outpost for a faction called the Responders. Now, in this playthrough, I do not fully discover the Responders and only do a couple missions for them, so this is an utterly useless area in my playthrough. After bailing on the joint, I decide to start walking the road, seeing if I find anything interesting there. I find something interesting along the road. I soon realize that it is a camp for another player in the game, and after looking at it dumbfounded for a couple seconds, I then realize that it is being attacked by enemies called Scorched, so then I go and fight them.
Yeah, he sent me an image of it. Yeah, it was Waddle and Bryce Young for Stephon Diggs and Trevor Lawrence. Not a trade I'd do, but I don't know why Grandpa Kim accepted it.
After talking about fantasy football with my mom, I hear a faint meow, and then go investigate.
Kitty cat! Cheswick the Second, how's it going? Amazing, amazing cat. Amazing, we love it.
After saying hello to Cheswick II, I decide to stop slacking off and finally continue the game, making my way towards the Wayward. After goofing off in the Overseer's camp for way too long, I finally decide to actually make my way into the Wayward and realize that I might be intruding on some unforeseen events.
Lady,
Honey, you picked the wrong time to get a drink.
What are you? Hey! Who the hell are you? None of your damn business.
What's going on is that this one seems to think I know where this big treasure is, and that I'm building my new bar out of refuse for fun.
Lady, this is your last warning. Our crew is getting that treasure. And I will happily send you both to the great goddamn beyond if you don't start explaining where I can find what's ours. Hiring? You serious? You got a gun in your face and the first thing that comes to mind is picking up a side gig? Guts like that might take you places. What say you and I finish shaking down this broad and then we...
After that debacle, I decide to go talk to the bartender, who I soon find out is named Duchess.
It's gonna end badly. Well, not exactly the introduction to the Wayward I would have hoped for. Well, sorry about that, darling. First round's on me. Name's Duchess. There's something I could do for you.
After talking to Duchess, she tells me that raiders have been harassing her business because a gentleman named Crane was in the whereabouts, and they believe that she knows where he is. This Crane fellow also seems to know about the whereabouts to a certain treasure, and that is why they are looking for him. So she gives me schematics and enlists me to put up a sign to try to attract them to then know where their hideout is and deal with the raiders once and for all. After fiddling around trying to figure out why the touchpad wasn't bringing me into the build menu and also getting distracted in the atomic shop, I finally build this damn sign.
Mutated animals, haywire bots, and no people so far. We have to be ready to rebuild in what I can confirm is hostile territory. Fortunately, Vault-Tec was prepared.
Once I'm done goofing off of trying to power the sign, I realize that it wants me to put a broadcast tape in a local radio tower. So I decide to head over to there and discover that I'll be making my way over to the local town of Flatwoods. I fucking love Flatwoods. Once I make my way over to the outskirts of Flatwoods, I discover the Green Country Lodge and decide to investigate.
Free sets of 12 rips. Let's see. Dumbbell bicep curls, tricep extensions. The back extensions, yeah. Real P, not proper equipment. No bother. Chin up. Only 8 more luxury coffee to make quota in backwards. Flatwoods. Okay. Be difficult given the financial situation around here. Just need to remind them our friends the Chinese. I'll be back on the plane to eat Switch within a fortnight. Gotta repeat the bench press today. Yeah, again.
After I realized the lodge was a royal waste of time, I decided to finally make my way over to downtown Flatwoods.
Are you here for the responder training?
Once I'm done being distracted by Heather, she informs me of responder training, which helps with survival skills, so I decide to do that instead of the main quest line. This gets me very distracted, and this is basically what I'm going to do the most of the game.
Overseer's log, town of Flatwoods. My God. Overseer's log, town of Flatwoods.
Hey,
My God.
here.
There's
If you
no
need
one here.
Supplies.
The old tavern, the church.
Got you covered.
People were using them for shelter, but they're gone. Mutations we expected. But there's something else. A disease. I was attacked by... Well, it used to be a person. But it had these
While
green,
you're
glowing lesions,
here,
and
why
its
not grab
voice
a stim
angry. Tortured. We are one. One what? Whatever happened here is beyond anything we expected. And we expected a lot. Before they were wiped out, the survivors called themselves the Responders.
Once I'm done exploring the rest of the church, I make my way over to the diner, which has a self-serve kiosk and lets me register with the responders.
I was bad. Just bad. I cheated on my spelling test. I kicked Chip Wilkins in the shins until he cried. I pushed Rosie McCloy down the stairs. I cut holes in the bottom of all the gym shorts and put glue in the mashed potatoes in the cafeteria. I told Harold Newell to eat 10 dead flies a day in order to grow muscles, and put Nuka-Cola in the rat cage water bottles at the pet store. And, I just wanted to say I'm sorry about everything. Because my dad said...
Once I start the Responders questline, it informs me that it wants me to test local water samples for contamination. But before I do that, I get distracted by one of the many world events. Most of the world events in this game are pretty simple horde killers, like there's Test You in Metal that has you kill a bunch of robots in a gladiator ring, or the Scorched Earth where you fight a Scorched Beast Queen. This one has me go into the building on the left, the big blue one, and has me retargeting the robots so that they don't shoot humans. After restarting my recording, I finally make my way into the research center. Pay close attention to that noise of multiple different creatures dying. Now I don't know why it did this when I played the game, but every single time I entered or got close to a building, it would kill every hostile in the area. I don't know if this is because of my level or anything, but it just happened and I just went along with it. After completing the event, I decided to finally continue on with the Responders questline, which has me testing some local water sources.
Yelling after me to slow down. Wasn't gonna happen. I guess I was always hitting my best. Couldn't just be a pioneer scout. I had to make troop leader. Couldn't just be a good student.
Once I'm done collecting the local water sources, I decide to investigate the gas station after the sound of dead ghouls, which is when I start to get confused as to why all the local enemies are dying. After noticing I got the perk Bow before me, I decided to put most of my points into Perception and try to go into an Archer build, because of the 4 times I've played this game, 3 of them have been Archer builds, and it's arguably been the most fun I've ever had in a Fallout. After boiling some water and completing the Responders quest, I experienced my first time actually meeting a player in this game.
Chloe looks after me. She's the best guardian a girl could have.
Hello.
Give you a free bonus. It's up here. Join my team, I'll give you a bonus, free bonus, like XP or something.
Alrighty. Wrong button.
Make yourself at home. I did.
If you've never seen anything about or watched Fallout 76, you'll probably start to notice that a lot of the players in this game are very friendly. It didn't happen to me, but a lot of times level 100s to 200s tend to wait outside the vault to give level 1s a whole bunch of plans and armor. This guy did give me plans and armor and also told me to join his squad so I could get a bunch of different bonuses. It could be seen as charity or just weight management because a lot of higher levels tend to drop stuff for lowers just so that they're used as pack mules. Later on, I find another guy on the way to a town called Morgantown, and he just spends the next like 20 minutes just dropping plans for me.
And, you're welcome. The responders are on a true mission, you see. Helping folks through thick and thin.
After becoming a pack mule, I then do another responder survival quest that has me get ribeye and cook it so that I know how to make food. And then after doing that, I then go to the kiosk and it informs me that there will be more responders training at Morgantown, so then I decide to go to there. But this of course is not before I get even more random free shit from a stranger. But before I went to Morgantown, I decided to finally do the main quest that the game's been wanting me to do in the first place, and the reason why I went to Flatwoods, to put a broadcast tape into the broadcast tower.
Message uploaded. Initiating broadcast pulse. Attention.
After looking at the local map and discovering every point of interest, I decided to finally go back to my camp and continue the quest. Once I'm done talking to another resident of this lovely wasteland I live in, I can't help but notice that there's two raiders approaching me in the forest, so I go and check them out. Turns out these two raiders are from a group called the Free Radicals, and after convincing them that one of them is trying to hoodwink the other, I then proceed to watch the greatest MMA fight known to man. After finishing the fight, I then realize that these Free Radicals are located in the West Virginia Lumber Co., and so I go and tell Duchess.
Fantastic.
I then proceed to make my way over to Morgantown, where I read the post-apocalyptic culinary review of Solcombe Joe's, and also befriend an iBot that I have promptly named Eddie. Eddie then proceeds to die not even a minute later. After that, I spend the next 30 minutes being a pack mule. And then head on my merry way. Once I get to the Morgantown airport, I then proceed to clear out the local scorched population. And once I'm done with that, I then make my way into the airport. Once I'm in the main terminal, I then proceed to clear out the, once again, local scorched population. After hopefully massacring the local population, I then open a door and find a keycard that lets me enter the second floor of the airport. Once I'm done killing the squatters, I then find an overseer's log that lets me learn about an inoculation project that's aimed to cure the scorched plague. I'm then told to go outside, kill more squatters, and then find a terminal that lets me learn about said inoculation. I then realized that instead of doing all that loser shit, I can instead register for advanced responder training, so I drop everything and do that. Once I'm done looking in the terminal and listening to a holotape it gives me, it then instructs me to go to Miguel's survival campsite so I can learn how to better set up my camps and survive the wastes. But before I do that, I get distracted by a world event collision course which has me killed a bunch of scorched while a supply drop drops in. So after I'm done with Miguel's quest, I decide to continue Duchess's and go to the West Virginia Lumber Company. While on my way there, I run into some more hooligans. Run into some settlers who inform me about how many people are at West Virginia Lumber.
West Virginia, no. Don't know anything about them. Now, I'd like you to leave.
Fight a Deathclaw. Kill an innocent lady. Blow up a nuke.
Damn.
And finally make my way there, where I finally kill the raider leader and inform them that they should leave Duchess's bar alone. And after this, I finally inform Duchess that her raider problems are done.
Well, that's good to hear.
Which marks this as the little end of my Fallout adventure. I hope you all like this, and if you want to watch more, just let me know. Yeah. Fallout. All in all, if you do decide to play Fallout 76, it is a pretty fun game. The community is very nice and very welcoming. I would recommend playing it with a couple friends, as it always adds to the experience, but, you know, that's been my adventure, and I hope you enjoyed.